Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the Moments Podcast. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am so sick right now. I have like this stomach bug that is absolutely wrecking my stomach. Like every time I eat something within a couple hours, like I am just in so much pain, but I'm so hungry, so I keep eating things and I just don't learn my lesson. But that being said, I'm also leaving the country tomorrow, so also, yeah, it's not COVID. It's not anything that I have to worry about. It's just a stomach bug. Me and Lisette both must have eaten something. We can't seem to figure out what we ate because we both have the same stomach bug. And it literally sucks because she started her big girl job yesterday, and like I had all these things that I needed to get done before I go to Colombia. My dad's not going to listen to this. Yeah, I'm going to Colombia. I'm surprising my dad and my family with a trip, which is like just a full circle moment for me. And I don't remember if I talked about this last week. I don't have an outline for this episode or anything. I'm literally just going to rant to you guys for a little bit. But yeah, I'm surprising my family with a trip, and I've never been able to do that, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. Like, my parents have been my biggest supporters through everything that I've done from day one, and like obviously it took some convincing, like for them to let me like take some time off of school to work on social media, to start this podcast, to do all of these things that are kind of out of the ordinary and like have like this very high risk factor and like aren't very 100% reliable and stable income at the start, and they let me take the leap, and now I'm just so grateful that like it's all worked out the way that it has, and I can take them on this trip. And honestly, I'm just so grateful for you guys because none of that would be possible if it wasn't for you. And yesterday, I don't know if it was just because I was sad and lonely and sick. Like yesterday is when I was supposed to record this episode and I could not leave my bed, and there is nothing I hate more than that. Like I am usually the kind of person who, when I'm sick, I'm still going to find a way to be productive of some sort. Whether it's just like I'm laying in bed on my phone making videos. Like I couldn't even do that. Like I was not even editing TikToks. And I know that sounds stupid, but when it is my job, like it sometimes it's something that needs to get done. But I was just down bad in bed, and I'm living alone, and Lisette, like I said, was at her big girl job, so we couldn't even hang out and be sick together. So I ran out of toilet paper, and normally, like at my old house, when I would run out of toilet paper, or when I was living with people, I would just like yell across the house, like, "Hey, can you bring me some toilet paper?" Or like text my mom, and be like, "I need toilet paper." But I was like, no, I have to be a big girl. Like I have to go to the store and go buy toilet paper. And I posted a TikTok about this, and a bunch of people were roasting me in the comments, like, you could have just Instacarted, you could have just DoorDashed. And I'm like, no, I don't really mess with that. Like I like to go buy groceries. I like to go to the store. Like something about someone else going and buying stuff for me and then delivering it to my house, I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me unless it's Uber Eats, because that I'll do sometimes. I don't even know what I'm talking about. How did I even get to this topic? Let me think here for a second. But yeah, I guess all of that alone time and all of that loneliness I was feeling just made me feel super appreciative and super grateful of like my family and where I'm at with like my parents and my brothers and like the relationships I've built with all of them. And I think it's just making me really want to remind you, because this has been something that's been so heavy on my heart lately, because I was like looking at my old TikTok videos, and I came across this one that was like a reminder to be nice to your mom. And I know a lot of the people that listen to this are in the age group that's like high school-ish, like even beginning of college, but mostly high school. And I was just thinking back to when I had a really bad relationship with my mom. It wasn't unhealthy in any way. We just like argued all the time, and like it was a very classic teenage daughter, middle-aged mom relationship where she would tell me I needed to be home by a certain time, or like she would decide who I was allowed to hang out with and who I wasn't allowed to hang out with. And at the time, I was getting invited to all these parties, and I was being asked to hang out by like all the cool people in high school. My mom wouldn't let me, and I would get so upset with her, and I would get so mad at her. I was like, you hate me, you don't want me to have fun, you're just mad that you didn't have any fun, blah, 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 blah. And now that all these years have passed, I have come to the realization that all my mom was doing was protecting me and making sure that I was hanging around the right kind of people, in the right energy, in the right environment. And I look back and I've never been more grateful for my parents being strict. And obviously that's easier to understand once you've made it out of that time period, but I wish someone would have explained to me back then that my mom was just trying to protect me and just trying to make sure that I was okay, and she was doing it because she loved me. And in return, I was treating her like I hated her. I was like, Mom, that's not fair, like blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, I just don't know if anyone needed to hear that. I felt like called to share that with you. I don't know why. Like I didn't plan on really talking about that, but it just came on my heart. So here I am sharing it. So if that resonated with you, just be nice to your mom. Be nice to your parents. They're protecting you, and obviously everyone's situation is different. I can't judge every situation, but I'm just saying for anyone who does have a situation that's relatable to this one, just be kind. Just be kind. And I'm also just trying to think about like what I want to talk about right now, like what my few life tips would be right now. Like I'm literally just going to title this episode Moments with the Stomach Bug, because I'm just sitting in my house. I have so much to do before I leave tomorrow, and I almost was just going to not record this week because one, I'm feeling under the weather, and two, like I'm just stressed out. But I've realized that I'm stressed out because I like haven't recorded yet and gotten this like situated. So if I were to just like not do this episode, I would still continue to feel that stress, because even though I eliminated the task itself, it would still feel like I wasn't accomplished. So I'm just doing this to do this and to talk to you, and because I love you guys, and the thought of not talking to you for a week would make me really sad. And I'm working on all that consistency and that balance, and like yes, life happens, and yes, things are going to happen, but priorities should still stay priorities. And it's kind of the opposite. This is about to be really confusing, what I'm about to explain, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, especially when my brain is just not working right now. But let me think here. I spent all of yesterday doing nothing, and I want to say that that is allowed sometimes, and that's okay. And then I also want to say, always get your stuff done. That is a priority. So how to make that make sense, I don't know. This is some kind of thing that I would usually talk to my therapist about before I talk to you guys about it, because she would make it make sense for me. And I haven't gone to therapy in a couple weeks because one, I've been busy, two, I've just felt pretty good, and therapy can be expensive, so I try to just do it when I need it. Not even when I need it, just when it feels right. And the past couple weeks I just hasn't really lined up, and then next week I'm definitely going to go to therapy because I have a lot to talk to my therapist about. Not even bad things, just like what is going on, some big changes in my life, and all really good things, I guess. I think, yeah, they're good things. But this stomach bug is definitely throwing me off because I, like I said, have been feeling on top of the world. I've been feeling so happy, so great, so awesome. And then all of a sudden yesterday, or it was actually 2 days ago, I just like did not feel good. And I was like, whoa, why am I kind of sad? Like, why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling stressed and overwhelmed when there's really nothing to feel stressed and overwhelmed about? And then I would get lazy, and all of a sudden yesterday it was really bad. And then today last night I had to go sleep at my parents' house because I just did not want to sleep here alone, because one, I didn't feel good, and two, because I don't have internet here yet, or Wi-Fi. So I wanted to watch something on Netflix, and I never really do that. I don't really watch anything. But I felt like I wanted to, so I went to my house to go do it, and then I didn't even do it. I just went to bed with a heating pad on my stomach because I couldn't move. So I woke up at my house, and then I came back here. Where I was going with that, I have no idea. I also, you know how I was telling you guys, I don't know if I've told you, I've talked about it on TikTok, probably not on Instagram, but I've been taking these new supplements, like vitamins, and I've been taking these brain ones from Ollie. And I haven't taken them today just because I don't really want them to mess with my stomach, but I've noticed that my brain is just, it's not completing a task. It's weird. Like, I'm still feeling productive. I have had to do stupid stuff, or not stupid stuff. I've had to do things around the house, like vacuum and do the dishes and do all sorts of little things. And I just will start them and I won't finish them, and then I'll go to something else, and then I'll come back to that task, and then eventually I'll finish it. So I feel like my brain is doing that right now in the way that I'm thinking. And then also, yesterday I was feeling super upset with myself at the same time because I had all this free time. I was like, all right, if I'm going to embrace doing nothing, let me just do nothing and like maybe read books, or maybe watch TED Talks, or maybe journal and feel wise and get spiritual and like really turn my brain on. I couldn't do that. I ended up scrolling on TikTok just for hours on end. Like my screen time on TikTok yesterday, absurd. But then I was mad at myself because I didn't do things to make my brain smarter. But we're human, okay? We don't have to turn on our brain every single day. Sometimes your brain just wants to be off. It doesn't want to think about anything. It doesn't want to be productive. It doesn't want to journal. And That's a lot for me to say. Sometimes I usually love to journal, and I was like, there are so many things on my mind that I could write about right now, but since I couldn't write about them in the way that I like wanted to at the time, I just was totally turned away from journaling, and I didn't end up journaling. What am I even saying? I don't know, but if you have a brain like me, hopefully everything I'm saying makes sense to you right now. I'm thinking the whole point of this episode is just to let you know that you're not alone in any feeling that you're feeling, whether that's physically or mentally. I know that I kind of talk about this in a lot of episodes, but it's okay to feel like shit, physically or mentally. Obviously, you have less control over if it's physically. Like, you can't really avoid getting sick sometimes, and I'm pretty healthy, you know? I do all the things to take care of my health and wellness, and I don't usually get sick, but like, who knows? Sometimes you're going to eat something and it is going to leave you an absolute wreck for like 48 to 72 hours. At least I'm hoping that's what it is. If I don't wake up tomorrow and feel great, you guys are going to be hearing a lot from me because I'm going to be upset. But it's not in my control. Something that is in my control is how I choose to react to this situation. Like, I could have just not recorded this podcast episode, been so mad at myself for not doing it, been such just been so mad that this is what God decided to hand me before I go on this trip. Or I can choose to look at it in a way of, okay, God told me, he said I needed to rest. He's not giving me a choice. He said, since you don't want to listen to me on your own, I'm going to make sure that you have to rest and you have to just be sick for these 2 days before you go on the most awesome, fun trip ever, because you need to have all this energy for this trip. You know, like, at least that's what I'm thinking he's telling me, because I don't know. It's the only way that I'm not even mad, crying, or sad right now. Because I don't like this feeling. I don't like feeling sick. I don't like feeling dependent. I don't like this. But I will get through this. And this can relate to our lives in so many aspects. And I think about it in the same way. Like, when I get freaking depressed, like, it's because God is like, all right, you're about to be really happy. So let me just make sure you feel this sadness first so that you can feel the happiness on, like, the extreme level. You know? I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does. Also, the merch that I've been talking about, I don't know if I've ever, like, told you guys it was straight up merch, but it's a work in progress. It is happening. We've been working on, like, the logo and all that stuff. So get excited. We had the first logo, like, come back, and I really liked it, and I think I want to use it as a version of merch, but it's got, like, a Converse on it, kind of, like a sneaker. And I just feel like it doesn't really fit too much with, like, the Moments podcast long-term brand itself, even though you guys know sneakers are literally me, Converse are me, but you know what I mean. Anyways, you guys didn't ask. You don't care. I'm really sorry. I'm just ranting. I don't even know what else to talk about, so I might just leave you guys at that. One more thing that I've been thinking, talked about this in many, many episodes before, is to just be young while you're young. Like, literally let yourself be stupid. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself get yourself in sticky situations, because that's the only way that you learn. We learn from experience. And it's as simple as that. I'm not saying go break the law or go be that stupid, but, like, it's okay to be young and dumb. Because you are young and dumb. I'm young and dumb. We're all young and dumb. Oh, I know something that I really, really, really want to talk to you guys about really quick, because I was getting some comments on my TikTok, and I'm not going to get into what they were at all, but I am going to explain what they taught me and what they reminded me of. Number one is that people are always going to perceive you in some certain way, and you have no control over the way that people perceive you, because everyone is going to perceive you differently. You might be perfect in one person's eyes, and you could be the worst person in the world in another person's eyes, and it is not your job to make sure that people like you. It is your job to unconditionally be yourself and be the person that you want to be and live your life with good intentions. And there's still going to be people around you who don't like you because they don't want to see you for who you are, because they are insecure of who they are. And now I don't know if that makes sense, but people are always going to have something to say. You really can't please everyone. People are going to create these narratives, create these stories about you if they don't like you, for whatever reason at all. You just have to know how to not take things personally. And I still struggle with this. I can, like, talk about it all day long about how don't take things personally. Everything is just a projection. Like, no one's actually coming for me. But like, I still take things personal. I'll see some comments and I'm like, oh my God, why would that person think that I would ever do that? Like, why would that person think that I am that kind of person? But people are going to think it, okay? It is what it is. Stay true to you. Be real to you. And the real people in your life who actually love you and cherish you will know who you truly are. People make shit up, okay? And just know that, all right? Just know that. But I am going to leave it at that. And I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to pack and charge my cameras and like say a few prayers, maybe write in my journal since I have a little bit more energy today about how I need some guidance to get through this stomach bug because I need to go rip it up in Colombia this weekend and have the time of my life with my family. And I will. And I'm speaking that into existence. And by the time you're listening to this, I will be happy, healthy, and posting up on Instagram in the most beautiful place ever. Also, it was so funny. There's this boy that I love on TikTok, and I've always followed him. Well, not always. I found one of his videos, and I followed him on TikTok, and he, like, travels the world and stuff, and I know that he doesn't listen to this. That's the only reason I'm saying this. But he DM'd me, like, a voice note and, like, asked me to go on a date if I'm ever in South America, and I'm like, I'm going to South America. I'm like, but I'm also going with my whole family, and I also don't have any time for a relationship. But I just thought that was cool, and he's Irish. If you think you know who he is, you should DM me and see if it's him. But, yeah, anyways, just exposed myself a little bit there, but I'm not telling you who he is, and hopefully he never hears this. So, all right, I love you guys. I'm excited to go to Colombia. I'm going to clean my house and get some things done, maybe lay in the sun. I feel like that would make me feel pretty good, and yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for listening, even though I'm sick and lazy. I love you. Goodbye.